They just forgot or has not heard. There's a chat room, a voice chat called TeamSpeak. A lot of the guys who have listened to Podnutz and the other computer repair shows, they go in there and they have great conversations about what to do in their computer repair business, and they just chat computer repair. What else goes on in there, Lisa? I mean, what else do you guys talk about?
You know what? It's kind of like, I think the consensus is it's kind of like being at a bar with buddies.
Yeah.
But we're all at our houses with microphones on and nerding out and drinking beer, and I smoke, and it's like being at a bar. I love it.
That's awesome.
You know, I haven't been in there in the last month too much because of all my projects, but yeah. I mean, it's kind of like just, you know, your buddies, and we all talk techie, and sometimes we talk about personal stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes we work through tech stuff together, or we debate, or I don't know, but it's kind of a nice group of guys, and there's some that flow in and some that flow out. So, right. You know, everybody comes in, and if they like it, they stay, and if not, they get out. Just
like a normal bar.
Yeah, just like a regular bar. You know, there's the regulars that sit in the corner and have their spots, you know.
And when somebody comes in, like, remember Cheers, everybody yelled Norm? Yeah. When you go in there, does everybody yell, Lisa?
Yeah, nope, they don't do that.
All right.
I half the time don't have a microphone on my home computer, so I just sit and lurk. I lurk.
That's cool. If anybody does want to check it out and see if you get accepted, you have to go through the initiate. No, I'm just kidding. You just go there and hang out and see if you can get some help or can contribute in any way. You go to the Podnutz forums. The login information for TeamSpeak is in there because I don't know if it's changed or whatever. I don't want to give any wrong numbers. Okay. Let's see.
Looking through the chat log here, see if I'm missing anything. I forgot that that's on there.
What?
Oh, that's the chat on the.
Oh yeah, on the Justin TV.
Yeah.
You have also in your notes, and then we'll do some emails in like 10 minutes or about 10 minutes.
Sure.
Some other stuff on your notes if you want to go over. Like one was awesome remote jobs you have done, jobs that pay off the best. Pick something you want to talk about. Could be anything.
Well, you know what? Lately with the holiday season here, the big one for a lot of people is the new computers.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're so easy. Most people, I hate to say it, have a wireless router now, and they have the modem. So really what they need to do is just buy the laptop, and I tell them to go home and set it up and get on the internet. Most people can handle that. There's very few people nowadays that can't, right?
Okay.
And what we do is we remote into both computers and do the file transfer for them remotely and set up all their stuff, move everything over, make a network share, and do it right through the two computers.
Really?
Easy breezy, yeah. It's so different now. It's kind of like we install Dropbox for them and move everything over that way, or sometimes they have an external hard drive.
Huh.
All depends. Sometimes we've even consulted with people to buy an external hard drive, and then we also set up their backup for them.
Ah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So you do
almost nothing is needed to go out there anymore.
Huh. That's pretty amazing. I guess if you do remote support enough, you'll find all the ways to be able to do things remotely.
I do. And even like the printer, they're like, I don't want to deal with that wireless printer. And I'm like, you know what? I'll walk you through it. So I go figure out the model online, and I walk them through the steps on how to do it. And then they think they're, magicians because there's no cords, and they figured it out. And it's kind of neat because everything is in Google, I know. Everything.
I remember that back in the day. Google is such your friend. And there's that one site, I can't remember the name of it, that changes Google to make it look like it's not Google, so when you're Googling something at a customer's house or whatever, they don't know you're on Google. I can't remember the name of that site. But when you tell somebody to buy a new computer and they take it home, do you remove all the crapware out of it and stuff like that too, or?
It depends. You know what? I mean, really, the crapware, mostly we take it out of their startup form so it doesn't, cause it to slow down. But all these people are getting such huge hard drives now. I mean, it's not like the old days where it took up, a lot of space. Now it's just floating like a sand in the ocean. It's so little. Yeah, but we take all that out, and that's when we usually also upsell our antivirus protection plan, get rid of the Norton or McAfee that came on it.
Yeah.
And people at that point, they're like, yeah, let's do it.
Really?
They like it. Yeah, we set up the online backup. We set up other programs. Some people are having a hard time right now with this Office 2010 business.
What's going on? What's going on with it?
Activation issues.
Really?
And installing, yeah, you know what they're doing is they're not buying the upgrades right. And I've had a few people, because then you have to strip out the whole old version and you have to run it through the Windows uninstaller. And it's a pain.
Really?
Yeah. People have bought the wrong upgrades and we've had to go and strip everything out. And it's been a 2 or 3 hour job sometimes.
What do you mean? How could they buy the wrong upgrades? You mean like they had
Yeah.
like student and teacher edition and they buy a different one or something, or?
No, you know what they have is sometimes they have 2003 and then they'll go buy an upgrade of 2010. And because it missed a version, sometimes it doesn't take.
I see what you're saying.
It's just been drama. And those are the ones I'm glad I'm on remote, because I was like, oh my God, if I was at their house, it's tedious.
Really?
Because, yeah. And the remotes are awesome because I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to go do this, click, 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 and then go do something else.
Right.
Come back, check on it. And the installs still take a while. Yeah.
I got to tell you, the more I hear you talk about doing remote, I got to go back to it. When I was in my shop, sitting in front of a screen, waiting for something to happen, even though I had 4 computers all doing something, there's still a lot of waiting involved. This totally handles it. I mean, it's just it's a really good thing to get into.
Oh, yeah. I love it for me because when I'm in a remote job and I'm already knowing, okay, here comes a 20-minute break, and I'm all blazing emails and doing all my stuff, and then I come back peak, and it's just it's cost effective for the client and me, because I could bill them for the whole time, but I take them off the clock. And people are like, why would you do that? I go, because I'm not working on their computer.
Like when a 20-minute install is happening or something, and you're doing something else, you'll take them off the clock. Interesting.
Absolutely. And it's kind of like some people will argue, well, you should be charging them because you're remoted in. Now, some repair techs do this. They charge for the whole time they're logged in with LogMeIn Rescue. They keep the time logs.
Right.
But I'm like, I can't. I charge $99 an hour. And I just can't ethically charge for all those printer driver downloads and everything else when I'm not sitting there watching it.
Right.
And all my techs follow the same suit, and people end up with bills that are affordable. An average printer, $79. An average computer setup is usually hour to 2 hours, depends on how much they have. We actually give them a lot of wiggle room for things we have to go research because we don't know how to fix it.
Right.
So I've done research tickets that are like $15 an hour just to bill them something. And it's super dirt cheap, but that's really rare. But I've done it.
Hey, is it working for you? If it's working for you, then do it. I mean, and if it makes you feel good at the end of the day, that's a big plus, I think.
Well, still, if you could brought it back to your bench, what are you going to do? A lot of people say, well, I'm just going to reload it. Okay, then you reload a computer, and then you've got 40 calls coming back from the client saying, well, my printer's not working, and this ain't working, and that ain't working, and then my Outlook's not set up, and now you're doing, 2 hours of setup from a reload.
Right.
So I'd like, let's go spend that time and try to fix the issue. Because then we learn too.
Yeah, totally. Oh gosh, that's really a good way to learn.
That's a good intern job, wink wink. Research. And let me tell you, the interns usually do a lot of research.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's a great way to learn.
Because they really are the hungriest to learn that, because once you give them a challenge, they're like, I'm gonna fix it.
Yep.
I'm gonna fix it.
Yep. I would be one to give up easier than others. There's some people that just have to figure out what's wrong with the machine, and they have to, and they're in the registry and they're in all these places. I used to get to a certain point and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do a reinstall. But I think there's 2 breeds. There's the fixers, I used to call them, like those type of people, and then there's people who are like me. So whatever works, but you try to customize it the best you can for the customer. But
you're the giver-uppers. I just give up.
Yeah, I admit it.
You know what? We don't reload much here, Steve. We are fixers, and
That's good for you.
Yeah, I don't like reloading. I mean, it's easy, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think I can kind of consider us a little different in the repair spec, because if you spend the time and learn that, we all know it then as a team.
Yeah.
And we all we talk on G-Talk a lot, and talk a lot of tech on there. Everybody learns, yeah. It's kind of neat, but...
And Google is awesome. If you could just type a full-blown error into Google. Whatever the error is you're getting, you just type the full thing into Google, and you'll usually find an answer. Yeah.
Well, then we have to deal with the Google Tech clients. Same. And they're my favorite, because they'll be like, I Googled that. Well, about I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, I was in a remote job Googling something, and after the client said, "I'm paying you to Google," I never Googled on their computer again.
Really?
Never. Nope. Nope. I Google on my computer, and then
Right.
I take links and put it through the chat.
Oh, right. No, yeah, totally. So you're not. They don't see you Googling.
Nope.
Right. That's smart.
And my techs are trained to not Google on their computers either.
Nice.
So we look like magicians that we found this cool fix, and we're just really doing it on our end and transfer it over.
That's awesome.
And then the best part is, Steve, we came up with this thing called the desktop kit, which I think is in the second book. I'm pretty sure it is. It's a kit in our Dropbox that we call software that has all the tools and all the cool stuff we use. And that's where all the techs put all their stuff, and it's like labeled and everything. And we can transfer those between us and the client, the desktop kit, and we put it on their desktop so we have all of our tools at one spot.
Really?
And then in that kit is also a link to our survey, our website, our Mosey Online affiliation, Malwarebytes affiliation. So if they ever go in there and snoop around and want to buy something, it's all in there.
Ah, sweet. And you call it the desktop kit? And
yeah.
And you tell them you put.
And we have one.
You say like we're putting a desktop kit on your machine. You can check it out if you want, and here's whatever. Or
yeah.
Cool.
And that's where we put our tools and just other stuff. I mean, sometimes, like if you're working on virus removal, we have the unhide in there. We keep the registry lifters, the windsock stuff. I mean, not that you need that, but we keep it on our flash drives too. So we have it all.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Very good stuff.
Yeah,
awesome.
There's a lot of neat things with remote that you can do, and it's not call center-y. I don't want people to think of remote support as, it's like some call center, because it's really not like that.
No, they're because you're logging in, you're remoting in. You don't. You don't technically need to talk to them once you're in, right? When they tell you what the problem is.
Well, we get off the phone after we're sure that we don't need them anymore.
Right.
And let me tell you that some people are like, "Can I just go?" They don't want to deal with it at all. I'm like, "Sure, just give me your password and we're all set," But some people want to sit and watch.
Right.
And back to what we were going with earlier, that Google Tech thing.
Right.
See, here's the people that when they call that they have told you everything they've done, and they are sure that you're not going to fix it.
Right. So it's
and they clock watch.
Nice. They're like, you're under the gun with them.
And my favorites, because I love Outlook, are the Outlook people that just don't think I can fix it, and I'm like, please, I remote in. Sometimes I can do it in 2 minutes or less, and they're like, oh my God, my brother who's a programmer has looked at this. My dad who's an engineer has tried it.
Right.
And I took it to whatever, and they couldn't do it. And I was like, because not everybody knows everything about everything. I just happen to know where that setting button is.
You should just be like, yeah, right. You should just be like, I'm good. I'm just good. I'm that good.
I tell them, well, I've been doing this 12 years. How long has your brother, the programmer, been doing it? 0 years.
Right.
But they're also the people that don't want to pay. They'll like have everybody in the world, or they'll Google it to death, and they can't figure it out because there is no like error code. Like, here's a good one. My email won't send out of Outlook. I can receive, but I can't send. So try to Google that, and you're going to get 40 pages of things,
Right.
And people will try and figure it out. Well, 9 times out of 10, it's just not going port change that they don't know about, or they don't have the little box check to in the advanced settings. That's the easy one.
Okay.
But I don't know until I remote in, right?
Right.
So